Hello everyone, it's Jeff here from the Systems Lab. Some exciting news today. We've got PRX version 4 available to you guys now. So, what is the benefit? What are the big changes in version 4? Let me just talk you through some of the highlights. The main one that you might notice on your screen right now, there's a lot of red, which is nothing necessarily new. Crypto's not been doing so well for a while, so we're in the red as in we're under the 200. But the benefit is we are now able to take the short side with PRX, and it does everything just as you would expect on the short side. So here on the chart, I've got the PRX swing system set up with daily chart of GBTC. That's the Bitcoin ETF. And yeah, no surprise that Bitcoin and crypto in general have not been performing well for a while. But it's a good example for how the short system works. So on the chart here, you might see that there's a little bit of a red arrow tick. For some reason, TradingView always do a left-facing red arrow tick for a sell, even though the sell in this case is an opening position rather than a closing position. So the purple ones, like this one right here, that's a closing position. That's closing an earlier sell that didn't work out so well. This one here has been working out quite well, and it's still open. And you can see in the dashboard here, it's showing us that we are short. We've got the stop trailing in the usual way. The open P&L is at 2.86R. That's to the closing price here. And the P&L that's been basically locked into the PSAR is at a plus 0.39 R at the moment. So we've got, we're in the money on the trade. We've locked in some profit, and we will continue in the usual way. So that's one of the big changes in version 4 here. Now, let me just flick over to a little bit more on the release notes so that you guys can see and that I can remind myself. Okay, so what have we added? We got the short side, which I talked about. There is a new input in the settings I'll show you in a second, which allows you to select whether you want longs only, shorts only, or longs and shorts. And we default to the long side so that it behaves like it always has. We've also added something called an accelerated exit, which is a way of ratcheting a trailing stop a bit tighter when the market is really firing your way. So sometimes we'll see these markets really take off and give us a large amount of profit, like a bit like what we're seeing on the short side I was showing a second ago. And this is a way of saying, okay, when those conditions are met, we will accelerate the stop, the trailing stop, to try to lock in some more of that profit. More on this to come in some future videos with a bit more detail. We've also added a volume moving average filter to ensure that there's enough liquidity in whatever the product is that we're trading. And this is more sort of a benefit for some things that Bill and I have been working on in the background that this new version enables, and specifically some systems we've been working on the commodity side and stock side as well. A couple other things that have changed are really just that we updated the way that the entry date filter works. So I'll let you guys explore. We'll have some videos on that shortly as well. For the moment, though, just to keep this a nice short video, I'll just double click on the settings here. And you can see here is version 4.0.0. And the biggest change here is really this trade direction. So we've got longs only, shorts only, longs and shorts. If I flick through these, now this is only the longs. You can see my short trade disappeared. If I flick to shorts only, the chart gets a little bit choppier, but we're in a nice trade here at the moment. And overall, it gives us a bit of a boost there. Now, just coming down here so you can see where some of these other things exist. Here's where you enable the accelerated exit. And we'll talk more about that shortly. And down here is just a new section for the date range filter, which gives us a bunch more options on how we can work with this whole thing. Basically, there is no filter currently enabled despite these things being ticked. But if I did want to restrict the trades to only within a certain date range, I would then enable or disable it just based on that right there. Let me see if I can get that back. There we go. All right. That's the bulk of the update, guys. A quick way just to show you is this is a version, if you can see here, that I've not yet updated. And I get this little purple recycling thing. And if I just click on that, I'll go ahead and click. Then it says updates available, update on all charts in the layout, and I click the button and it will update it in situ. Usually we would suggest backing up your settings in case those get overridden in the update process. So quite exciting news. Hope you guys can jump in and get started by experimenting with your own flavors of the system on this, and there will be much more to come on this as we move forward as well. All right, have a good one. Cheers.